I'm joined here by double All-Ireland winner Fergal Hegarty, and Fergal, of course, has 3 Munster medals. We're a week away now from the big Munster final clash between Clare and Cork. First of all, Fergal, thanks for talking to me here. And just come back on your own career. You broke onto the scene, I think it was in 1995, Fergal, you first came into the Clare team.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, this was I came in the autumn of '94. We were unlucky in under 21 final against Waterford down in Fermoy, and a number of us were brought into the squad then for the league. That time the league was split between before Christmas and after Christmas, so there was a couple of us got opportunities in the league, and we got to the league final then in spring in '95 and beaten by Kilkenny. So I came on that day and played a few league games, and then I suppose got in for the championship against Cork, and it turned out to be a very long and hot summer, not unlike summer we're having at the moment. So the omens are good for 2018.
That's right. I suppose, a 21-year-old, you just came at the right time when Clare had put together this unbelievable team. You know, that's Joe Nairn's. Joe Nairn, he just wanted to win a Munster final, but he won so much after.
That's right. I suppose that was the aim for every Clare team, is to compete in Munster, and then it snowballed. I suppose, but as you say, there was a nucleus of a very strong team there, having lost 2 Munster finals in a row, and had great wins in those championship years, and then got to a league final again in '95. So there was great building blocks there. The Anthony Daly's, Davy Fitz, Brian Lohan, Sean McMahon. These fellas had been there for those years. So. He had a lot of good raw material to work with, but then of course he brought it all together, and the rest is history, as they say.
Yeah, I suppose in the 1995 Munster final you're going down 3rd year in a row, having been beaten the 2 previous years, and you're going down facing Limerick. There must have been a lot of pressure on. Like, you were all young fellas that time, most of the team.
Maybe the pressure was probably on Limerick, having lost narrowly in '94 in the All-Ireland final against Offaly. I suppose they had the game won, and lost it in dramatic fashion, and they were back then to get back another crack at the All-Ireland. So a lot of the pressure was on them rather than Clare. I know Clare were going in their 3rd Munster final, but sometimes young players, and a lot of the team was young, don't kind of realise the pressure.
The fear factor wasn't as much.
Absolutely.
Wasn't as much. But once you got that win in '95, then it just took off. You weren't going to stop there. You went up and you beat Galway in the All-Ireland semi-final. You had a super game yourself that day at midfield, and onwards into Offaly.
Yeah, sure. I suppose, and then Offaly, there was a lot of good teams knocking around that time. Offaly were going for 2 in a row. Cork were strong, Kilkenny were still strong. Tip, obviously, and Tip became very strong then after, we'll say, 97, 98. Waterford came with a very good team. So it was a very competitive era. I suppose very similar to the times we're currently experiencing. So, yeah, look, that was a lot of it. That was down to the management. They kept the players on a level. They didn't let lads get carried away with themselves after the Munster final, and then we prepared very well for Galway, and then obviously kept, he was excellent at that, Jonathan, and keeping a lid on things, and then the county went mad, and leading up to the Offaly game, but yet the most important thing was the match, and he got players to prepare properly and perform properly.
Yeah, unbelievable celebrations in, of course, after beating Offaly. It was a huge all around the county, and the celebrations went on. 1916, it was knockout, first round, and you're gone. Very unlucky against Limerick, and we all know what happened there. But the sign of a really great team was you bounced back again in '97, and the Munster final in '97 was an unbelievable occasion in Cork.
Yeah, it was. This was Tip were they had a lot of good young players, and they had some older lads as well. So. Yeah, that was a huge win for Clare, supposed to beat Tip in a Munster final, and came back then again in '98 and won it. Obviously went on to win the All-Ireland again in '97, beat Tip. So to beat Tip twice in championship in the same year was huge, and then to come back it was '98 and retain the Munster Championship was huge in a replay against a really strong Waterford team. And then probably unlucky then the way things turned out against Offaly on the 3-game saga, and came back again then in '99 and lost to Cork in the Munster final. A big game,
Saturday again,
and missed a few handy chances, and then Cork came up the field. But that Cork team was a very good team, and went on to win All-Ireland, and the backbone of that team went on to win All-Ireland in the noughties as well. So lot of good teams around at that time, and you know, Limerick were still there. Came back in '96 after we losing in '94, and were lost again to Wexford. So you know, Wexford, another team, you know, that came and won the All Ireland. So it was a very competitive time in the history of hurling.
Yeah, it was, and the Munster in particular was very competitive as well. And with Limerick and Waterford came to Munster finals as well. That '98 Munster final, they came close to win. This was that day as well, like, you know. But the second day you were really ready for him, I suppose, and that was a fierce physical battle as well as everything else, and a lot of stuff came from there. We won't go back over it now, I suppose.
The CCC will be after us. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
You know, I suppose Waterford were unlucky the first day. Paul Flynn had a free at the very end to win it, and just drifted wide. You know, it was from 100 yards, like, but they were outstanding that day. You know, probably should have won, but I think we were full value for the win the next day on a wet.
Absolutely.
Tempestuous day in Thurles, yeah.
Absolutely. They were great times and great games, and they were great clashes like throughout Munster. There's a new Munster format there now. It changed in '97, the backdoor system, but it's changed again now, and we've had cracking games so far.
Absolutely, I think it's been the Munster Championship needed sort of an injection of something, and thankfully we've got it. You know, there was a couple of years there where it had become a little drab. I suppose, you know, you were going down to Thurles and playing Waterford or playing Limerick, and there might be only 12 or 13,000 there. So thankfully, I think this has really brought a new energy to the thing, and you've bigger crowds and more people, you know, looking for tickets, and it's nearly a throwback to the kind of era we spoke about. So I think it's worked very well. I suppose there's a few tweaks. Maybe some teams have to play 4 games in a row. It's been difficult for them with injuries and that. But then again, I suppose you have to factor in the clubs as well. So if there's more gaps in the Munster Championship, the clubs are waiting longer. So I think they've got it about right, I think.
Yeah. Looking forward to this Munster final now. We probably have a few scores, although Cork were still smarting a bit from 13, but we probably have a great incentive to go down now, make history, go down and win this new form, this new Munster Championship in Thurles. And do you think if we're going get a bit of momentum got?
Huge momentum, I think. You know, if you look at the last day, the great win in Ennis over Limerick, and you know, we've 3 games won on the bounce now, and 3 really good games where Cork are coming in maybe don't have the same momentum. Like, they struggled to beat a deflated Waterford side. They drew against Tip when they were way ahead. You know, so I think our form is better and we have more momentum at this particular time. Now, having said that, we've been beaten by Cork 4 times since 2013 in championships. You know, which is not a great statistic. But I think maybe our time has come now that we have that momentum. Our better players are back to their best, or back near their best, and I think there's more scope for improvement for us. And Cork, I think Lehan is a huge loss for them up front, or not Lehan, Cadigan.
Cadigan, yeah.
He's a huge loss. If you look at the Munster final last year, you got to go on 4 points and play and cause a lot of damage. So I think we might have more strength and depth than them. So I think this, I'd give Clare. I think Clare would be going in as favourites in my head anyway to win. But having said that, it's not easy to beat Cork in Thurles on Munster final day.
Yeah. Your own career, when you eventually packed up your hurling after an enormous successful career, 3 Munsters and 2 All Irelands, it's a huge achievement. You've gone into management now as well, Fergal, and you've had great success winning the county title with Ballyea and going all the Munster Championship.
Yeah, look, this was every player you'd like to give something back, and I was fortunate enough in Ballyea. We had a great bunch of players and great backroom behind the lads that were there for a number of years before I came on board. But we had a great run. Unfortunately, you know, we didn't win the All Ireland, but no, look, it was lost in the fact that we won a county championship for the first time and won a Munster Championship obviously for the first time. So and played a great semi-final down against Thomas's, who had won the All Ireland themselves only a few years prior to that. So it was a great year. But I suppose I'm back now with my own club, and we're trying to build a team. I suppose we have a lot of young players coming through, and but it's all about time and patience, and hopefully we'll get there.
Yeah, and going well now and getting into playoff in the Clare Cup, which is.
Yeah, look, we've been building nicely in the Clare Cup, but it's we've picked up a few injuries, and obviously the county lads aren't with us. But we've given a lot of players have seen game time in the cup, and we'd be happy enough the way things are going. But there's a huge competitive edge to this championship in Clare. Like you look at, I think there's 10 teams in the previous 13 years. 10 different teams have won it in the 13 years prior to this year. So it's very competitive, and you look around, there's no easy draw, there's no easy game. So, but look, we're trying to build, and hopefully, if we stay at it, we'll get something out of it.
Next Sunday, if the boys come good and if we beat Cork, there'll be a couple of extra Munster medals coming to the parrot for you. You won't mind if you join in your ones?
No, they need to be polished down. Yeah, it'd be great if Davy and Jason and Pa, like it'd be fantastic, and great for the young people around, that they have people to look up to, that they know, and they're accessible, and they're always here in the field, and it'd be great. There'd be great excitement around.
Yeah, absolutely, and not forgetting Conor Cleary over the road there as well.
Oh yeah, we'll welcome Conor as well.
But
join us, you can. But anyway,
the invitation is open there, Conor. But Fergal, thanks very much for talking to me, and we're looking forward to next Sunday, and great memories there of a great era in Clare hurling. Maybe we take off again now.
Please, God.
Thanks very much.
Thanks, Nicholas. Bye.